Seahawks training camp continues here at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. Punter Michael Dickson took time to join Chris and I after yesterday's practice. The Hawks drafted Dickson in the 5th round out of Texas back in 2018. He's currently the longest tenured player on this team. We asked him if he feels like the old man out there.
Yeah, at times I do for sure, but I really don't feel, I feel great. So the time's flown by. It's kind of crazy knowing that I'm the longest tenured at this point. It's cool. Yeah.
It's kind of funny, man.
Yeah.
Well, you got out here, though. It's beautiful weather. This is a beautiful facility. How's it feel to get back into camp?
Love it. Had a good break. Had a great off-season. Was able to get a lot of work in, but was able to travel, see family, see friends, and really enjoy the win of the Super Bowl. And I love being back here, love being around the guys, love being around the coaches. So great weather here. Yeah.
Well, you said it, enjoying that Super Bowl. And I know here at camp it's about running it forward. It's a new season, a new year. Coaches talked about it. It's a new team. There's some new guys, some new coaches out there. But let's take some time to celebrate. How special, especially as the longest tenured player on this team, was that Super Bowl championship and the rewards that came after it?
Yeah, I think it was perfect timing. I just got to experience basically every season you can up until that point. So being here, being with guys for years, and then being able to get a win with them was incredible. And like Mike said, we're running it forward. Yeah. I think that's the perfect mentality for us to have, and the guys have all bought in, and we're still a close-knit group, and the new guys have come in and really adapted to the way we do things around here. So it's been cool, and it's exciting going into the season.
And I go back to the days with Pete Carroll, and Paul even mentioned this before we sat down with you. He talked about the word, Michael is a weapon, and I think we saw that more than ever last season, what special teams means to this team, this Super Bowl team. Just talk about the mindset of special teams when it comes to the Seahawks.
Yeah, the whole organization definitely values it, and Mike values it a lot. And we got Jay Harbaugh, he's best coach in the league, so he has a lot of faith in our group and gives us a lot to learn each week and to take into the game. And the guys, they handle it, and they perform at a high level. And you saw the impact that we can have on games, whether it's a kick return, punt, field goal block. Our kickoff unit scored a touchdown. You see, it was in every single aspect where we helped get a win, and we made a positive impact on the team. So I thought that was really cool.
From the other aspect, we saw a lot of play. You talk about special teams and what this means to this team. Rashid Shaheed, a couple of incredible punt returns last year. You see what he does. And how hard is that to be a punter, to get it away from guys like that?
Yeah, it's very difficult. The returners in the league each year just get better and better. So I always try and incorporate a different style of punt, or punts that are hard to field, or punts that come down funky. I'm always thinking of ways to try to have some advantage when I'm going out there, and like to make it as hard as I can for the returner.
Is that spins and stuff coming off the foot?
Yeah, spins, trajectories, misdirection, basically everything.
Kind of fun. You're your own little scientist.
You get a little creative, and it's always fun playing around with it.
Is there a misconception about punters in this league, and maybe what you guys do on a daily basis?
Maybe. At practice, you see that we're typically like the first period as a punter. So I'll punt, and then I'm just holding field goals the rest of the practice. But people probably don't see that we're out there 40 to 50 minutes early. And that's essentially my practice. So I'm getting a whole practice in before practice, and then just kind of working field goal stuff. So we definitely get our work in. We definitely lift, and yeah.
We spoke with George Halani earlier this week. He talked about what rugby meant to him, and it kind of helped him with football. You, rugby player, correct?
No,
back in it?
Aussie rules.
You're Aussie rules. Yeah. Okay, well, take me to, and I know that's different, so I apologize there. What did Aussie rules help you do with football?
So Aussie rules is its own unique sport. It's kind of hard to compare to anything. Kind of imagine the ball movement of soccer, but tackling, and you're punting it instead of kicking it off the ground. So you're punting to guys that are running routes, and so you need to be pretty accurate with your punt, and you work a bunch of different style kicks in that sport, bending ones, low ones, long ones. So I think from that I developed a pretty good hand to ball to foot connection and can kind of do things with the ball. I kind of just think about what I want it to do, and my body will just do it for me.
Also helps you with on the run as well too.
Yeah, on the run, yeah. Picking it up off the ground. It definitely helped with the double punt situation where I scooped it up off the ground. That was very Aussie rules skill transfer. So yeah, it kind of helps with that connection. And during practice when J-Mi's kicking field goals, I'm always behind the net, catching it like Aussie rules style, running around and then punting it back to Stoley, our long snapper, and really what's kind of maintaining that connection, because I think it does help me out.
So is that where you started then? You started as a kid doing Aussie rules?
Yeah,
Okay.
I played that my whole life and then made the transition because I had quite a big kick in that sport relative to the other guys, and there'd been Australians that had made the transition before and they were like, you should be a punter. So I kind of had a taste for it and then kind of dove head first for
Very
it.
cool.
Yeah, you got that opportunity to play college football at Texas and then kind of took off from there. What was it like playing in a school with that kind of expectations and being in that atmosphere down there?
Yeah, it was, I think, the perfect situation because I came from never playing a game to playing my first game at Notre Dame, and I think I had 10 or 11 punts that game. We had a backed up punt, and it was kind of just like thrown into the fire and had to, figure it out. That freshman season, I did all right. I had some really good punts and had some bad punts, and that off season I finally got to understand what a punter's job was, and I really was able to train knowing what was expected of me and what was prioritized, and I had a great off season. In the second year in college, I was able to put all my skills together and my mindset together, and I played pretty well. And then from there, it definitely helped me coming into the league because I was used to playing in front of 100,000 people each week and a fan base like the Longhorns. You were, you're under scrutiny, but you were also celebrated. So I had to learn how to shut both, the scrutiny and the celebration off and just kind of focus on myself.
Yeah. They're going to win one this year? They're going to win a national championship one?
I think so, yeah. Got the guys for it, for sure.
Hey, we've been lucky in the city of Seattle to have some athletes come from Australia. Yourself, the great Lauren Jackson of the Seattle Storm, Ryan Rowland-Smith of the Seattle Mariners. Our producer, Joel Knipp, thinks Lauren Jackson is the greatest women's basketball player of all. Did you ever watch her play growing up at all?
I've honestly only watched like 2 basketball games in my life.
That was it, huh? So it was Aussie rules? No hoops
all
for
Aussie
you?
rules. I still watch it now.
Okay.
Like I'll watch it in my free time now.
So in Australia, is Aussie rules number 1?
Yeah.
On the list of sports?
Yeah.
Okay.
Aussie rules is number 1.
All right, when you talk about your free time, what is it that you like to do as we wrap things up? When you're not out here in these long days of training camp, what is it that you like to do?
I like, looking after my body, to be honest. Well, we get a little less meeting time, so I have time to go in the red bed or get in the sauna, stretch. If there's a time of the day, where I got my friends that are just waking up and they're driving to work, they'll FaceTime me if I have a little bit of a break. So I'll catch up with friends and stuff. In the mornings, I'll like to watch some Aussie rules if I have the time to. It's quite a long game.
Hey, you're
so
still
I'll watch
watching that, huh?
snippets of it.
Who's your team? So I'm going to get on. I'm going to start watching.
Magpies. They just lost last night, but they're on a hot streak, so
Okay.
the guys are looking good.
All right, as we wrap things up, we got to notice the tats and the ink and things. I don't know. I don't want to get too personal, but that's a passion for you to obviously to have tattoos. And what does that mean to you and the things that you have?
Yeah, I mean everything is kind of symbolic and represents something sentimental. And yeah, I kind of like having it so I can look down at it and it helps me think about a person or a situation, and that's kind of why I like it.
Yeah, a little inspiration, a little
Yeah.
motivation.
Yeah.
And then we talked, maybe there's something on the horizon for you?
Yeah, it might. Would like to get something that represents the Super Bowl win, obviously. Something symbolic. would be cool, maybe to represent like that whole season and the team and the guys and what we went through to get that win.
Yeah, takes a little thought process though.
Yeah,
Take your time with
it
it.
to be perfect.
Yeah, I bet. All right, well, this has been a great visit, Michael. We appreciate your time and best of luck this season.
Appreciate it.
All right, Michael
Thanks,
Dickson,
man. Yeah,
Seahawks
thank you.
punter.